Hello, Fusion. My name is Alex Fuse, the host of Fusion News. Today is January 28th, 2018, and we have another big show for you right now. But before I introduce my next guest, are you a subscriber of Fusion News? And if not, what are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button right now on YouTube to join the Fusion Nation. And once we hit 600 subscribers, I will be giving away two regular season New York Yankee tickets. So stay tuned for that. We are just a few subscribers away from 600. And now, without further ado, my next guest on today's show, Joe Rivera from the Sporting News. Joe was at NXT, WWE Alternative, basically, their, so to say, pay-per-view last night. And, of course, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view is tonight. So, Joe, what was your reaction to NXT last night? I couldn't watch it live. I will be going back and watch it later today. But what was your thoughts on the pay-per-view last night for NXT?
Par for the course, and that's a good thing because the NXT shows are always good, always quality matches, and that it's a product of how much care they take in developing their not only their wrestlers but their stories, their storylines. There's so much young talent. There's so much veteran talent there, and it always comes together at Takeover. You can always tell these guys put their A game in from the time the opening bell rings to the end. Yeah, it was great last night. Another great event. These shows only happen 4 times a year, but every time they happen, it's totally worth the wait.
What do you feel like the difference between NXT is in the WWE? Because it feels like there's this different chemistry between the wrestlers in NXT, and then you have the wrestlers in WWE.
It's simple. NXT is wrestling, it's professional wrestling, and the WWE main roster is sports entertainment. I think that's what it is in a nutshell. You see these guys that come across in NXT, they're, a lot of the veterans that they've signed, the Nakamura's, the Roderick Strongs of the world. They've traveled, they've wrestled for, decades. They've wrestled contrasting styles. They've wrestled everywhere on the globe. And these guys, they just know how to go, and they know how to put on quality matches. They understand the psychology of the storyline, what goes into making a good story. And then you look at the main roster, and it's more about the spectacle. It's more about the names, the Roman Reigns, the stars, John Cena. They cater to different audiences. I think that's really what it comes down to. It's not the same group, which is why you see a lot of these guys that get called up from NXT and they go onto the main roster. They're either not as well received, or there's just not a spot for them on the main roster, and they're not put in position to succeed. So, the difference, you're really looking at professional wrestling versus sports entertainment, and it really shows.
Definitely. One guy that made his NXT debut last night in the crowd was EC3. So, how does that play into him going back to the WWE?
It's interesting. Every once in a while, WWE will miss on a guy, right? Obviously, he was with the company as Derek Bateman in the past. They didn't really see a future for him. He goes to TNA, and he kind of, you don't want to call him a transcendent star, but he kind of became that star that WWE didn't think that they had. He's got the look. He obviously has the charisma. The fans went crazy for him last night. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm not sure if he's going to make his in-ring debut in the Rumble tonight. Usually when they show these guys at ringside, at NXT, they go through the NXT ranks before making their main roster debut. But if there's a waiting period kind of thing for him, I don't know if he really needs to do that kind of thing. But we've said that before with guys like Bobby Roode and others that have went through NXT. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him. I hope that they don't flub his character. I mean, it's really self-explanatory. He's just kind of a snob, and he's got the look. He's got everything that goes with it. So I'm excited to see what they do with him.
I would love to see him team up with The Miz on the main roster. I think that would be a great chemistry tag team on the main roster.
That's a good pairing, and The Miz in his career has certainly been he's one of those guys that has just evolved since his debut, and he's always been in great tag teams, whether it be him and Morrison or Joe was a great tag team, and we've seen it. Alex Riley was a guy that, they kind of tagged together as his protege, and they worked really well together. Miz is the kind of guy that he's still kind of, I don't want to say floundering, because he's been given great mid-card runs, but he's that guy that's knocking on the door of the main event, and you just hope that they pull the trigger on him sooner rather than later and put him in the spotlight again.
Definitely. So you mentioned the Royal Rumble earlier, and of course the pay-per-view is tonight, and the Royal Rumble is something special, very close to my heart. 7 years ago was the first ever pay-per-view I ever watched for the WWE, and it's been 7.5 years since I started watching wrestling, and the Royal Rumble is one of my favorite events of the night. Do you feel like this Royal Rumble card is going to be something fans are excited about? We have Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Kane in the main event. We also have the first ever women's Royal Rumble match where you're in or be in the match somehow, some way. Then you also got the superstar, the men's Royal Rumble match. So very good card tonight. Who do you think is going to win the two Royal Rumble matches tonight? And is Braun Strowman going to defeat Brock Lesnar tonight?
I think Strowman should. I think he should win the title, and I'll give you the reason why. At some point, WWE has to look at a guy, at a star, and realize it's his time, right? And it just never happens. Strowman, I feel like it's been his time for the last 6 months, and the fact that he's been kind of a monkey wrench in their plans, I feel, kind of like a Daniel Bryan of years ago, where the crowd just takes to him and they won't let go, or a CM Punk, or guys of that nature, Dolph Ziggler, for a while there. And I think that there have been so many missed opportunities. When you look at a guy like Strowman, it's definitely his time, and the crowd, they obviously feed into him. And what makes Strowman so special is his ability to kind of make the crowd forget that you're watching a scripted product, right? It's interesting because if you were to see a different guy do some of the things that he's done, flipping ambulances and tractor trailers and all sorts of grappling hooks, pulling down scaffolding, any other superstar, wrestler, I should say, that worked. Like, it wouldn't work with any other guy, but it's worked with Strowman. And I think that's just the makings of a special guy. And if Reigns wins the Rumble tonight, which I think he probably will, it's either Reigns or Nakamura. Reigns and Strowman have had excellent matches in the past. So if you were to put them in the main event at WrestleMania, I'm sure that they would put on a quality show. But I don't see it happening. I think Lesnar retains. It's we've been building up to for the longest time now. You have the Golden Boy and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, who's kind of the cash cow for WWE. And I think that's what we've been building towards. I don't think anything's getting in the way of that, and that's what we're going to see at WrestleMania.
So we also have the first ever women's Royal Rumble match. Who do you think is going to win that one?
I'm not so sure that Rousey's going to make her debut tonight. I'd imagine that she would probably make. It just feels like there's more of an impact if she were to make a debut on a Raw. I just think that makes more sense. You really don't see like big time debuts aside from AJ last year. You don't see big time debuts as much at pay-per-views or in the Rumble. It just would make more sense for her to show up on a Raw. So I think Asuka's going to pull out the win. And it's kind of a shame because she had that big spot on Raw 25 where she threw all of her teammates out of the ring over the top, and kind of the momentum thing that always works against them. You have the momentum to show before. It usually never carries through to the pay-per-view, but I think Asuka deserves it. I don't want to say that they've flubbed on her character since she was called up from NXT, but she certainly doesn't have that fearsome aura that she had when she was in NXT. It's just a different kind of feel, and I think that's just the problem that they've had. It's not just a problem with Asuka; it's a problem that they've had with all the guys and girls that they've called up from NXT. So I'd like to see her come away with the win. It makes a lot of sense. If it's not her, I don't. If Rousey made her debut, I don't see her winning it. But maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll see her make her debut. I'm not sure she does though.
So Joe, the Royal Rumble is famous for special returns. If there will be any major returns in the Royal Rumble match, I know the past few Royal Rumbles haven't been that many returns at all. But who do you think may enter in not announced?
Alex, it's really tough to say, right? Because that's why they're surprise returns. And I'm not saying that to be snobby, but they're usually like AJ. We knew that there were rumors that he was going to show up and he was going to make his debut. You'll probably see some mid-card guys. Maybe EC3 shows up in the Rumble tonight. I think that makes sense. But the thing with EC3 is I'm not sure if he has that kind of star power, that kind of draw power like an AJ did last year, where everybody knows it's him when he comes out. So
right.
It's interesting to see. I'm not sure who, if anybody, makes their return. Last I saw, there was like 20 confirmed entrants, maybe a little bit less for the men's rumble. So you're going to see probably some NXT guys too make their debut, which would be interesting. But I'm not sure any surprise returns. That's tough to say.
Well, Joe, I want to say thank you again for coming on my show today, and it's going to be a great Royal Rumble pay-per-view tonight. I'm excited for it.
Alex, thanks for having me on. Enjoy the show.
Of course. Thank you. All right, Fusation, just heard it from Joe from Sporting News. We talked the Royal Rumble match pay-per-view tonight. We talked NXT last night. We talked a lot of great things. Fusation, we are just a few shows away from episode 400, and I will be announcing my special guest for episode 400. It is going to be a phenomenal interview. All right, Fusation, thanks again for watching, and I will be seeing you very soon. Be a subscriber of Fusion News. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button on Twitter @AlexHughes, and I will be seeing you very soon. Thanks for watching.